Hey chickadees, happy Sunday, happy Star Trek. We are live now, and the server has just reset with the event. I feel like I was going to label this event roulette, but I wasn't sure if that affected algorithms and implied I was gambling, which I'm not. So I am not. So hopefully that doesn't get in trouble. Let's see. Let's look and see what we've got. Major Zammo, CockADoodle, thanks for being in here so early. The offset, appreciate you and anyone else who's hanging out with us in the beginning. Remember to hit that like button and invite your alliance mates to come join us so we can build this up. Let's see. Don't even have your coffee yet, and you are here before your coffee. This cheer is for you. There's mine. Let's see. All right, so Sammo, I know you were talking on Twitch yesterday about how, of course, the events were completely not what we were expecting yesterday. So let's see what we got today. Who knows? Somehow I knew you've got to wait for away teams, right? Never cash in an away team until right after the reset. 9 for me. Working a little on some syndicate. We're still in spend. I'm just doing a little bit of ops work, and so spending some resources because I don't usually do it except during spend events. So I guess I'm ranking. Get some more. I forget how many of these. Let's check and see how many of him I need to unlock him. Need, though, is a strong word. So really, these are all. I mean, it's like, yeah, sure, I'll take them. But when I'll exactly where I'm going. Why? Maybe they're good on a away team. That'd be nice. The overflow, we need to finish our overflow. Feel like there's a lot to do here on the overflow. I haven't missed anything, so let's see what that looks like. Mark, Pat, hello, happy Sunday. Yeah, welcome in. So, hey, Threat from Beyond as well. Thank you for saying hi, and welcome to the YouTube side. Hope you'll also check us out on Twitch, where we'll be after this. Usually we do 1 to 2 hours over here, get started, and then pop over to Twitch. On Sundays, have a regular check-in on YouTube. I do everybody kind of hang here. More of a regular thing. So let's see. Mick, welcome in. Happy Swarm Sunday. Yes. Let's see. Station. It's this research thing. Not the best one. But we'll figure out what we're doing. It's like anomalous phenomenon, swarm, spend some stuff, do some away teams. I was doing some, I did org solos yesterday. That didn't go as well. You know, me trying to use my jelly a little bit as a third ship, which has worked better before, but it really didn't work yesterday when we were doing it on stream. And then much earlier this morning, since I had some trouble sleeping, I went ahead and did some Jim Hadar. But actually I did an epic, did my first epic 48. So found out I could do that, but I couldn't do anything else after that. A little bit of a bummer, but I only had enough juice to do one epic anyway, so let's see. So let's look what all's going on here. Yeah, I'm just getting a little concerned. Let's take a peek. Brewster's about to go off on a Victorian cosplay event. Cool. So may hear her perhaps a little bit. Keeping it real here. Alright, I did this one. So we got a critical. I really need Fed credits since I'm not doing any Fed pulls or Klingon pulls, but I have plenty of Klingon credit. Senate hearing is still running. We'll fast forward that. We should do a lead expedition immediately. Let's fast forward this one. Now that we're in these events, and hopefully get a critical. Just got a success. I don't usually get that one. Let's pull lead expedition here and see what we can do. 0 on there. And at least I know that I may end up putting him out there. Fast forwarding these is what I was going to say. See, is there points for spending? I don't know that I have. It would be good, but maxed on Survivor, so we'll let that go, and then we'll just see where. Let's click some daily goals and see what all's happening here. I was having a lot of fun doing that racing game yesterday and the Stream Raider stuff, which we'll be doing some more on Twitch in addition to Star Trek, of course. But was doing that, and I think Samo, we got to hang out another stream, kind of promoting another Twitch streamer after mine. I was eating ramen, and you just can't do that on stream. At least I can't. We highlight a lot of foods that are easier to eat on stream, but slurping on soup and noodles is not something that I'm going to be doing. Let's see here. Alright, got my looking Exocomp with my Org solo or my Jim Hadar solo. Actually, really fun. Thank you for your consideration with it. Yeah, no, yeah, you bet. No, I'm always honestly, I think through a lot of that stuff. I assume it's on it. There's the new friend. Yes, exactly. So actually, they had invited me to be in part of their team on Twitch streaming. So I went ahead and put in a form and reached out to one of them about that. So we'll see, because that stuff's just a lot of fun. I invite you guys to come over and hang out. We do have a lot of fun and do some extra stuff on Twitch, in addition to Star Trek, and with some side games and kind of just a varied kind of partier atmosphere. But hanging out, building that community. All right, so we know we're gonna get swarmage taken care of and the freebooters. Usually and freebooters have really changed how this works. So sounds like we need plenty. Heroic, that's the second tier. Good, because we definitely need. I need to level up Bashir. Should be able to afford to level him up. I don't use him, but I should. He's good. Keep working on some. As you can see on my, as soon as I spend some like multiphasic, I'm about ready to pop at 26, which is gonna unlock or begin to get Mavery. 40 Mavery, so that'll be an unlock for him. So it'd be good to do that, preferably when there's an officer event on. But right now, it'll be good. And then bonus rewards on the G4 and G2, nice. Work all this, that's some good stuff there. Yeah, recruit event, yeah, tonight, so I probably should wait. But yeah, exactly. Okay, well, let's, oh, and speaking of the devil, and 1 second, I see Mrs. Rooster's ride has arrived, so I'm just gonna make sure. Making sure. You see. No, I don't think she does anymore. Nope. But if she does, I will let you guys know. I'll step away for a brief chair stream moment. I was just thinking, need to do my freebooters stuff, and that also includes I typically use things. Mick coming in with another £2 in the super chat. What's your top 5 officer must-haves? Got Bashir. Must-haves in general? Like, and thank you so much for the super chat, Mick. Really appreciate it. Because, I mean, if we're talking like in general, we're going to start talking about PMC, PMT just to get going, which is already going to take you 4. But that's kind of like, kind of your beginner stuff. But I think it, I think some of it still comes down to getting those regular hostile grinders, and then of course getting the complement of your 3 faction epic officers rounded out, starting to be able to get your transporter patterns for whatever you're going for forward. 5 of 11, formerly 5 of 10, I think needs to be added in there as well. And of course having good miners like your T'Pring and Borg T'Pring and all that, so that you have your protected cargoes options for your mining stuff. So that's way more than 5, but it's also, I mean, I think it's kind of representative of how you need so much more stuff. I think it's important to get Cisco going now, having some good Armada crews, 6 of 11 as well, Cisco Miles, some of these different things to really help you with what you're doing. So, all right, that's a lot more than... But of course, it kind of depends on where you are in the game. So if you're not, if you're early on, it's that race to the PMC PMT, and then of course getting later on, I'm big on Picard Beverly, having those options, and grabbing your Lorca, got to be in there, your Khan, all that stuff is really super important, but it's kind of developmental, as you're moving through the game and starting to get to where you can get them. Once you get to the point where con shards are coming out of Swarm Sunday, you should be really, working on your con, that kind of thing. So, but it's not, it's not your strike team officers or your new old man Picard officers, for sure. But that makes sense. Let me know some of your thoughts. Sorry to give you so many answers. I think it really does have to do with where you are in the game, and then another thing that we don't talk about as much in this game and many of these other games, like when I did Marvel Strike Force and all that, is when I kind of present the concept of developmental. Meaning, as you grow and as you're developing, there are different things that are more important for you than someone else who's at a different level. But also, did you miss something? This is a huge thing. This is like when you go too high up and you rush your ops, and then you've got to really, it's like, stop rushing your ops. You should camp, catch up, and work on fixing all the stuff that's making you basically weaker and bad at the game. And that becomes more important than whatever you're supposed to be doing at that ops level, because you didn't do the things a few ops levels before, and that's why that becomes what your priority is. Like, maybe that's like, there's times where, like, oh, I neglected my Stella, I neglected my my Vidar or my Franklin, things like that. You need to start working on those specially, and they become more important. That may justify you spending in event stores on stuff for that, because you're playing catch up, particularly if you're not spending money in the store, doing complete free to play. You've got to take advantage of all things to kind of catch up and all that. So sometimes you have to kind of ignore some of the standard advice, because you're not in the standard position. You're somewhere playing catch up, kind of out of whack with something. If that makes sense. Yes, I did that. Leveled up too quick, and many of us do. Or you find that you've leveled up too quick, or you didn't realize that you needed to do some of that, and then it's like the moment you realize that, you need to have a plan for correction, and that becomes more important. Let's see. We just pulled 2,750, which will only, if I do a rare, that will complete it. Let's look and see what's there. Although, one second. Does it include some fleet spending? Yes. I have a tendency not to spend these until I really know what to do and make your camping at 35 is a good place. That's a good spot to camp, and you should be catching up and getting everything ready and working on unlocking that first epic, getting your Franklin A, all that stuff, so that you're ready to go to 39. So you're going to jump to 39 and then catch up and beef up and camp is what I would recommend there. Harmonica Luke, welcome in. Hello. It's Monday. Is it Monday for you, Veronica? I apologize. I don't wish Mondays on anybody, really. Myself, most importantly. But let's see here. Before we forget, coffee in hand, what I missed. There you go. We were just talking about developmental stages in progression in officers, and then talking about catching when you are behind on something and fixing it. Good. Busy. Now let's go find. Use Baki here for PMC, the obvious one. Well, I was mentioning, your 2 T'Prings, and then 5 and 6 of 11, Lorca and Khan, and your 3 faction epics teams and all that stuff. Aggression, yeah. Again, it was like 5 doesn't get me very far because you need so much. I mentioned Cisco, and I mentioned like as you progress in the game, there becomes things like as you begin to do armadas, you need to make sure you're getting some key armada people. And all that, and then when you're lower, that's less important. Orca, like that. See here. All right, now he needs defense preferably, but I don't have too much trouble with this, so generally I just do Picard, Beverly, Hugh, and now Hugh's going to be one of those things that's going to be a top must-have officer, but he's not like I need him like my first. You don't need him first, I need him first, but what'd you like to do? Yeah, but I mean, it's like everybody's got a mine. You need to be able to do that somewhat effectively. Like, so I'd say protected cargo. You, Bashir. Like, I've got Bashir and I need to level up, and I've never used him. But we should probably do that on today's stream, use him. It's like, you don't have to use him, but he's good. And I probably should be using him, but I tend to get into using the things that I go to and remember and all that. I've used Jazzia Drax when I got her. He actually works fine in some solo situations too, but here are much better. But I haven't used them. I usually am doing something else. Wait, let's get some freebooters. But so I would just say some of that stuff varies a little bit. You gotta know, if you have something that works, that's good. You should get something that works better, but then it all comes down to budgets and stuff. And it's like, are you able to get this thing through a free-to-play grind? Are you free to play? Are you spending? Are there hacks that have decent value that you want to spend on? Or something that would help you. Sometimes there's, multiple ways to skin a cat. Not always. Not always. Definitely Hugh, though, at this point. Hugh's entered the arena, and people are going to need to be working towards getting him. He's going to help. He's really going to help anytime you're doing hostiles, so which you start doing at, level 1. But at level 1, I wouldn't be... You're not going to have Hugh, but they're going to figure out how the sourcing on Hugh is tied to the Borg armadas, solo armadas, and particularly the epics, which pushes it up level-wise, pushes it up pretty hard. So you may have to, that means you're waiting on Hugh, unless you're doing some kind of spend or they change some of the ways that he's being revealed. All right, I'm just going to fix a little. Got a little messed up in OBS. But it's just great examples and all that. And like, maybe I need to test out Bashir, and maybe I need to be like, okay, well, we love Bashir now. This is going to work. Now, one thing that affects Armada and Solo Armada crewing also has to do with which ships you're using. And I know that's kind of like, well, duh, Rooster, but if you're using G3 epics with their special abilities like an Enterprise, you've got to, you know, if you've got to shoehorn your morale into that enterprise, make it better. So that means you're doing a duo and Kirk, right? You know, or something like that. You know, saying Augur needs that burning for that obliterator weapon type of stuff. You know, Hull breach if you're using a D4, you know, that kind of thing. So, and then again, those are, you know, where those original faction officers come into play, and of course variants like Lorca and Giorgio, things like that. So that affects things. But then when you rock, like when I rock into the Valdor, I use a 3-person team instead of, you know, but with my G3s, I'm using a 2-person team and using the ship specific abilities because they become pretty important, particularly like on your Enterprise, you know, to maintain morale so that it lasts well. And honestly, that obliterator weapon is a pretty big deal on your Augur. Less so about the burning, which is still nice, but more about activating the obliterator weapon for the Augur. So, just things to be thinking. And again, that's going to affect which crews. So that, you know, the 5/6 con standard, now I'm using that on the Valdor. But if I did 5/6 on the Enterprise, it would be a 5/6 Kirk. And then you know, and so I'm sacrificing con type of thing. 5/6 con is wonderful, and I'm glad to have a ship where I can do it again. Now, if I want to do a solo, if I want to do a trio on a ship, and I'm probably going to want to do, if we're going to do a Cisco Miles Bashir, we're going to want to do that on the Valdor, which is where I've normally been doing 5/6 con. So it all has domino effects because it's going to depend on which ships you're using. And I'm probably not going to use my not impressive ISS Jellyfish. Well, again, I'm using the Defiant, so we kind of do that. Just gotta sort out what's going on. So again, these things make a difference. Like when I was using special loot crews on the Defiant early on in the Defiant's life with Geordi and such, and people are like, "What are you doing?" It's like, well, we're doing a loot crew. That takes precedence over it. It breaks up some of the other crewing on the other ships because the purpose was to do the loot crew. And some people don't always understand that because it's like, well, that's not the normal. It's like, but if you are trying to do a loot crew or a greed crew or whatever on purpose, then it rolls through all your officer setups, and you have to figure out what's going to work that also allows me to do this. You wanted, like on that Geordi loot crew, you wanted full synergy, so that starts bringing in, you know, Picard and Beverly and stuff like that. So that means they're not available on some of the other ships. So you're rolling through and then trying to figure out what works. Okay, let's look here. I think that was 3. Because doing this run makes Swarm Sunday so much nicer. So much nicer. Here. All right. Back in, so we're getting a little more Tal, which I am loving getting all this extra Tal and some Odo. And Odo, if you have Hugh, I think Odo becomes a lot better. Makes them kind of the odd couple. Hugh and Odo, as far as I'm concerned. And that's 2 of the people I have below deck on my freebooter run here. Now, if I didn't have Hugh, Odo wouldn't be on the ship. And I probably wouldn't use him that much. I'd probably use some stat stacking. There you go, Mick, super chatting again. CockADoodle, and shout outs to you. Here's my CockADoodle do. Thank you for the super chats and the support, much appreciated. What research do you need for the Borg solos? Let's see. Have you done the base research that unlocks Borg solo ability? I have to look to see what that is called because it's been a little while. It's probably in one of my videos, but I'm not sure. We'll check it. Second, let me just start pinging these ships. Oh, that's exactly what I'm looking for. 43. Sometimes these are hard to find if other people are doing them. There's your Samo. Do you have the Terror skin competing for it? All if not. Sorry I missed that earlier, Samo. I have the Terror skin. I've had it for a while. I got lucky and got first in that in my old alliance, which is why I have. It's why I went ahead and got a second Franklin A, because I'm like, well, the Terror skin applies to both. In case when we do Swarmadas, I could run two if I wanted to. But let's see. Andre needs 100,000 more Syndicate XP to complete the event. Cool. Yeah, I know you bought the pack too, right? Here. Let's go look at this research for Mick as well. Up in here. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's not bad. That Galactic Swarmata pack was in there. I was looking at that because it's like, I'm not sure that that's not the same as the Galactic Armada pack. Just called something different because of the Swarm event. I was starting to look at the resources that were in there. I don't know if anybody prepared that. People really finished the heroic syndicates. Yes, you can and do. I've done it multiple times. That's part of how my Picard is tier 3. That's because if you bank your if you whale harder sometimes or dolphin a bit and bank your multiphasic credits, you can cash them in only when the syndicate events are on in Syndicate XP, which is what I generally do. And I've been able, but I'm starting to. They're running more and more of the syndicate events, so I actually don't have enough, and I haven't spent nearly as much in the last couple months as I've done before. But it is about, a lot of it is about banking your multiphasics so that you can blow them out, focused on that, or spending those packs. But banking the multiphasics really has helped me finish them at least 2 times. But we're gonna go cash some of that in on Power Creep as fine as money makes further and further and further. Yes, well, and definitely in a mobile game, monetized. Let's see here. Okay, let's try to remember. Mick was asking about Borg Solo research. I think isn't it in Starships where you have to do the original stuff that turns on Borg Solo ability? Let me see. Where is that? I'm thinking it's down somewhere. Well, I have it, so it'll be little. Not Borg. It was. I'm trying to remember. Chat, folks who know, feel free. Maybe it's. We added in Galaxy? I'm like. Hoping it'll stick out and we'll be able to spot it. I feel like it's in the middle. Not the stealth stuff. I'm having a moment. Looking for it, Mick. Shouldn't be, I don't think it's in Starbase. Borg Solo research in the battle tree. Thank you. We would eventually have gotten there, but by then my eyes would have glazed over probably. Let me see. Thank you, Luke. Like, I appreciate, that's part of what I appreciate about the community. We can kind of source some of that. Okay, here is like that. Is this the first one where you do these Federation translink dealt by, this is Federation ships. Here's the Romulan ships against the Borg. That's Borg spheres. Wait, but that's. Is there an earlier one for the Borg Solo, basic Borg Solos, or am I misremembering? No. This is. Here's our basic. Oh, because they're the Death Stars. That's right. They're not the expansion cubes. Is that what we call the thing? The things that nobody does? Well, the things that a lot of nobody does. You get your Federation, your Romulan, and Klingon ships, and then includes the ISS Jellyfish against that, which, so if you do those are good to, expansion cubes are the fancy ones. Yes, I haven't done those since that one first week or two when we tried to do them. And I was like, coordination here is harder than scheduling project at work or something. So let's see here. Mick, I hope you got that. Some of it's in chat. The assist. We're still killing one more 43 and then kill a 40 to finish it off. Save a little hull repair. Anyway, welcome in everybody. Yes, there's a way to support the channel via the tip thing. You can also do super chats like Mick has, and of course there's memberships to the YouTube channel, which are like subscribing on the Twitch side as well. They both all help the channels. Very much appreciated. Appreciate all the support you guys give me to kind of help me kind of fund the hen house and keep things going and all that. Does kind of help me keep the lights on, all that stuff. Thanks, Lay Rooster in chat. Thank you for the super chat again. Thank you. Much appreciated, Mick. So again, you are our super chat leader. Again, much appreciated. That gets the swarm bits and the call them dominators, the freebooter dominance. All right, so we'll end up doing some faction stuff a little later. Also need to do freebootage. All right, so freeboot's done here. Mick, you should throw down the gauntlet. I feel like you're already throwing down the gauntlet to say other people to encourage the super chat battle. So Mick's there on his perch. Have to consider. You don't like it? Super chat. All right, let's see. Did I have? Oh, it says those dang. I'm gonna have to go knock those missions out so that I stop telling me I've got those 4. They keep periodically throwing me off. All right, let's look at the away team because we're not done. And I'm thinking about spending a little bit. If I can figure out a good spend for away team traits, because I don't spend them enough. I usually am trying to bank them up and not spend them willy-nilly and then go, oh, I wish I'd saved them. But like many things, I save a lot of things and kind of sandbag, and then it's like, just like Latinum, and it's like, what am I doing with this? Why am I not taking advantage of this? So, the best ways I'm finding to do is find ones that are important to do. Like, of course, the rainbow ones are really important. And then see, don't know for sure if that's good or not. Well, I think it's better than spending it the minute you get it, Samo. Saving it up and kind of spending it with some thought, I think is a good thing. But again, if you just kind of forget it so long, like I do sometimes, you're like, then you're not taking advantage of something you have. So, and I think that's part of like the idea of like saving up and or camping and then blowing out for big SLBs to place and win. You know, yeah, that really helps. So now I'm looking 3 days. So like, what is the reward for this? Okay, because it's not showing. I'm not doing 3. I don't do the multi-day ones except during events when I know I'm speeding them up. This one, I don't really. I mean, 50 uncommon refined ore. My territory has 4-star ore, so it's very easy for me. But the credits in Imperial Strategy are just the high column. wondering if I have one in here that I want to work on a little bit where it makes sense to boost things. Let's see. Imperial Strategy is going to pay how much? 1440. Let's look down here at the Senate hearing, because I just did that one too. That one's going to pay a lot less for the same day. Yes, thank you, Mick. Yes, please click the like button. Do. So the rainbow is hang out, and of course gives me away team bits that I do need. So let's look. Yeah, this is my Sharvanak and the ship's damage. So we'll go and we'll go and clean that up. Battle pass event that is not normal daily. What if you could be punching up for 3 months instead of waiting in hopes of an officer recruit? This will be. Oh, yeah. I think there's stuff to consider. So you've got to really think through your spend and your play. I mean, that's the same thing. Like I don't spend on ships, or I don't spend G3 and G4 on ships or ops or research except during SLB events. Now that I am having a lot more trouble placing, it might not do it as much because it's not going to lead. Saving it up for the SLBs doesn't mean that I can place as well anymore, so it might be more moot of a point. But like sometimes, like if you're the ship that you use, your main ship, that ship being more powerful and having upgrades and tiers is an everyday help. So if you're like, I gotta wait a month before the SLB coming that I'm gonna cash this in, that's probably too long on your main ship, or something that something like your R&D, which your R&D in your base that's going to allow you to do other research. I mean, some of those things that's too bad. You don't want to put that off too much. Maybe you can put it off until the weekend when the SLB runs or something like that. But you got to watch it. Okay, so Caravanak should now be available. So. Oh, it's good first for me. Ships, yeah, they waited months. It kind of depends. Depends on what it is. But yeah, I mean, and then once you start getting into the G4 side and the ship parts become such a bottleneck, then it's like, oh, I'm not spending those. Like I don't, we're no longer upgrading the jellyfish. I had planned to tier the jellyfish up one more time. Truth is, I don't use it anymore. And so now there's far less reason to do it, but I'm not sharing those parts with the Valdor. Same thing, the Cerritos now needs the uncommon G4 ship parts as the Valdor. So I'll get back to the Cerritos once I'm done with the Valdor at this point. Oh, loving the Spider-Man t-shirt. I'm coming. Oh, well, thank you. So am I quite a bit, which is why actually I started my streams and all that as doing Marvel Strike Force and stuff like that. So. Kind of a big thing, so that's why I wear so many comic book shirts on here. We're always going to be into some comic book games and things like that, plus the sci-fi, Star Trek, sword and sorcery and fantasy stuff as well. It is the Geek and Nerdy channel, really, called Geek and Sundry, that kind of thing here. So let me see. I had put some points in her. Pair this up, but yes, thank you. I have a link on my Twitch page because there's a place where I got the Spider-Man shirt and all the comic book and all the Star Trek shirts that I have, and I actually have I get an affiliate if people buy them. But I love that place because I found them, and of course I really like all these shirts, and I like rocking them in my free time. Can't wear them to work and stuff like that. But so actually my first job in high school was at a comic book store, and I was working when this comic came out, and I'm a huge Spider-Man fan too, so all kinds of geekiness in there about my comic books. I usually read comic books every night. Right now I'm reading the original New Mutants. I'm reading. I never hold my progress up waiting on a spend event. And Samo is only once you get your jelly, only plan to take it about tier 2. I think it's fine to take it to like tier 4. all that. Honestly, I get some residual use out of it, but it's really changed, and of course it is gonna, you know, make a difference here. So I could level up leader. That will be good. Let's do that. It's free to play. I need the extra gains of winning it. Yeah, no, that's important too. So again, and I would need my jelly more if my G3 epics weren't maxed and stuff. So some of that. Now I have a Valdor, so that changes everything again further. That might have finished the event. So let me look at her. I spent, okay, she's maxed. I maxed her out recently for this specific event. So now we'll just give a health boost. We'll pick somebody we're not going to use much. Probably Kurla. Little. Put in. Let's look. Yeah, that finishes that. And did that finish the overflow? There's the crooked rod. All right, good. Upgrade him. I was just a little worried that with me needing 2 milestones on the overpass, you know, the battle pass overflow, that I had somehow something had gotten messed up. That happened to me once, and that's why I'm on a different cycle of opening the treasury than a lot of people. Although I do suspect that that's actually an okay thing because of not necessarily trusting the company. So, all right, so let's look at what we've got accomplished now. Vacationing is done. We need to spend some syndicate stuff, but I want to be careful because I want to boost those officers a little later. We can spend on in the base and on research. We need to send out to do threat from beyond, and it's phenomenal. All that, so. And we should probably pull in, I know the research is bad, but we might as well, since we're in spend event, if we're going to spend on some stuff, we'll do something. See where we are with stuff. Let's get our ship in. Let me see. This stock is integral to that raid, but I don't really need my best people. Me thinking through this whole process, I can do I can just use regular Pike Moreau, Jayla. Truth is, I don't even need Jayla for that PMT. Yeah, why not? Well, I mean, it's not gonna pull them in. And we just want to give them, they need a little health and a little attack. Okay, stun. There we go, that's good. Oh, I guess we got Alright, now let's mix. So we'll send that out to the 35 areas. This over. I did my G4 ore mining already, but I'm gonna go grab some gas. I'm out of a lot of stuff. Mick, another super chat. You are going for a super chat record today. Another 2 pounds of super chat. Just got your enterprise. What skins should I use? Do you have the skins? I don't have any. I love that TOS skin. I think that one's, I was hoping to get that somewhat free over time. I have the Enterprise D damaged one. That's the one I do have. I never use it because it just makes the Enterprise look big and dirty. Not in a good way. All right. In my opinion. Yeah. But the TOS one, I think, is super rocking. And thank you again for the super chat. Super chat love. You got worried somebody is gonna challenge challenge for that super chat leadership, right? Here, let's look at. We can look at the refits because forget. So I've got the Enterprise D. Oh, and there, yeah, I do have this one, but I think that's ugly too. I think the regular one looks better, but I have this for the stats. Then we have this one, but I mean, it's like, to me, it just looks kind of clunky and all dirty. Let's see. Look at. Are there more? Or unlock more? What do they have? The TOS one. I think. I wish I had this one. That one's just lovely. Except but it has the little jets. I know Rev used to. I mean, this is incorrect, but other than that, it looks beautiful. It really does. And of course, I'm a TOS fan and TNG fan. But I'd be surprised, if let's see. And that's for Enterprise A. Again, such a classic. Well, getting something extra is that's a cosmetic one. Usually it's going to be the purple ones, and that's going to be not this one. It's the Enterprise refit. This one gives you, that this was one of the $20 ones. Increases all base mitigation by 200%. So they have that for all 3 of the G3 epics. I went ahead and bought all those at $20. Because again, I was like, especially those were my top ships, because I feel like if you have those, if you're PvPing against somebody else with the same Enterprise and they have that skin and you don't, then theirs has better mitigation. And that's, yes, it's a power creep thing like Samo mentioned, but I was also like, sometimes some things I will go ahead and get if the price point isn't super high. And that's kind of how I felt about. Let's turn this to the interior, see if we can go get some gas. Terry's ready to upgrade. Nope. Not close. Although if I had bought that Galactic Swarmata pack, which I assume is gone. Oh, there it is. See, this one, I was looking at this because I think does anyone have a picture of what's included in the Galactic Armada pack? Because I feel like this might be the same pack, just with a different picture. Because it's one of the things that makes the Galactic Armada pack is great is getting all this stuff. Well, maybe you get less, because I'm wondering how many of the armadas, and then the amount of resources that you get is pretty darn good. I'm trying to. I'd like to compare that, and I'm not sure. Maybe it's not as much, and I'd like to know. But so if people know or have pictures or comparisons from your Discords or something, let me know. A little curious about that. I mean, it's funny that we had that pack for the Swarmatas when they were supposed to be running the Infinitus event, right? And that's what they told us, and then they ran the Swarmata event. So funny, haha, funny, peculiar, just kind of ironic, funny, ironic. Of course, I don't know that it's really. There's the Huckleberry. Let's jump in mine. Hopefully secure that. Find that one. And then, I mean, I guess they just made a mistake in the. Because if we had Borg Mata stuff, related for the Infinitus in the store, and then we had the Swarmata, that would show more of a mistake. And as not. So, I mean, it sounds like it was more intended, but miscommunicated. Gonna be 45 minutes, so I'll set a little timer, and we'll try to get we'll get a bunch of gas, because I'm really low on gas, so. Did I get the USS Intrepid? Can I skip now? Oh, no. You don't need intro. I'm like trying to remember which one that is, because it's like, oh yeah, that's the one that I skipped as well. You don't need that. Yeah, you got an enterprise. You got an enterprise. I wonder if I can even build that yet. From like just... You don't want to allocate too much on it, but you can, you know, you're gonna want your 3-star faction miners. Yes, you know, the 32s serve a purpose and they're good. But you definitely don't need them once you have a G3 epic. But like I have a maxed Burrell, which, you know, I feel like it's the only maxed Burrell on the server. But now if you followed me again when we were talking about, I got a little stuck and I wasn't, I didn't have any epics, and so I got my first epic at 36, where I camped at 30. When I camped at 36, in particular, instead of 35, because that allowed me to start opening my Armada chests to get the epic ship blueprints and all that. So I did that. And I could have spent Latinum and bought the blueprints, but kind of hadn't done that before. So I did that on the Valdor for the first one. But I, you know, was kind of generally trying to earn them free to play. And so I maxed the Burrell. Now, like the G3 faction miners are going to be needed later in the game, not at 35, but later. So like getting them, and they're crystal hogs, unfortunately, all 3 of them. But they can, you know, if you find yourself with a lot of extra crystal, then you could use that during a spend event, but you probably won't be in that. Andre is getting closer. 72 million ROM rep. You're out 72. My goodness, a lot closer than me. CockADoodle. I thought I was doing okay. Where am I? Here I am. I'm 340 million away. Like this. And for collecting that, that means the 300's probably ready. And if we're doing the 300, let's grab a pylum for the day. And it probably means I can get my away team. And let's do the same 300 over here for transporter patterns. Demos finally decided to just go for it and start up on my ROM rep now that I can get in deep space and do them. Yeah, I mean, if you know that you want to go ROM, then start working on it. That'll be fine. Just watch, you know, how the dailies stack up, and if you have problems with both the mining or the hostiles, because the hostile kill becomes a problem. Now we have freebooters. If you can punch up and take care of freebooters to kind of help with that, that helps. But that and the mining are your big things, and of course your swarm. You know, so as well, the swarm's not going to go up. That goes up with your ops. Sorry, but you know, those are just things to be thinking about. But freebooters is going to help with all that anyway. So, all right. Let's see. While we're here, sure, storm is easy peasy. Yeah. As long as that doesn't get out of hand. Collecting ships, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I had, you know, I went, I did dual faction Federation Klingon all the way playing. Never got a Romulan ship until the Augur. That was my first Romulan ship, believe it or not. And now I'm going Romulan first, so I obviously switched around. But I had, you know, I had the D3 and the Mayflower, and I was running them both, and I spent stuff in there, and I found it useful to have 2 different ships at that time when I needed to use them, and then the Sally and the Bortus, you know, that kind of thing. So I found it helpful to have 2 ships at the same level where I was working ops, you know, different kinds to be able to do stuff with the battle triangles, things like that. But I also, you know, probably had extra resources because I do spend some. So if that factored in, we don't need that. Don't need these. Should buy these so I can afford Let's see. There's a research event. I sure missed the domination SLBs that ran along the other SLBs. Not because I want them, but I just want, like, when I'm spending on stuff, it's like kind of nice to have some patient. There's plenty of stuff I need to unlock in here, and I'm probably getting up there and able to do some stuff. I just haven't paid a lot of attention. Like ore refinery. So I'll look through and check that out. Let's see, did we get ours for the day? Yes, we did. Let's go look at the away teams a bit. Citizen. And well, I'm gonna have to do Cardassian Armadas. Oh, and I say this, hopefully Cardassian Armadas will be required as part in, they'll be worked into the Battle Pass events structure. That's mainly when I do them. But otherwise I'm gonna have to do this. Just because. There we go. And in honor of having a little extra, we'll do the mining one for every once in a while. I have enough, and I try to keep myself from going down below 1,000. Why? I don't know. And our scrappers, we need to work on a scrapper ship too. Scrapped a legionary last week, I think. I am not the best scrapper. I got more skin shard tracker in the amount. Oh, well, on that one, Mick, I'll go in there. That one's slow. That one's too slow. I've had the amalgam since the day it came out, and I've been max pulling. Probably only missed 1 or 2 days max since the thing came out. So you can see my 4140, because again, I'd love to get this eventually. The jellyfish one is not a bad one, of course, but so I can afford a few. 20, definitely 40 of the shards, but it's really, really slow, and the sourcing is bad in this amalgam thing, which I think is why they're doing Honor Guard Wharf and other ways as well. I kind of expected them to do more, increase the officer sourcing through the amalgam with more than just Honor Guard Wharf. And they didn't go that way, so I feel like it's almost becoming like a relic. Let's see. Start hitting some of these. I got a speed crew. Don't really want to. Kind of want to just find a little spot where people aren't. Grab some and. There. You done 1 round of each. Samo says would like to do at least another full round of them all before 40. Only got the 26s later to max and scrap. Okay, gotcha. Sorry. Hey, Tiberius is in the house. Sorry I missed that. Happy Sunday to you, Tiberius. How are you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Sorry I missed a little bit of the chat. Welcome in. Make sure you follow. Sorry, I don't have shout out commands over here. I'm like, make sure you follow and subscribe to Tiberius over there on YouTube as well as, of course, Twitch. How was your stream? You were doing a Twitch stream this morning. I saw when I was trying to wake up. So I hope it went well. Good. Yeah, there you go. Samo was there. Go. I'll be on Twitch later. After this, but doing well, Tiberius. Raced by Stardom in our YouTube stream. Oh, all right. Figure out something I wanted to run, probably. Yeah, I'm running Imperial Strategy. Trust the High Council. That's gonna. Yeah, I can do that with. I can get around Gorkon if I need to. I don't like to get around Gorkon on my dedicated. Has a birth. Yeah, attack. So you go for it. Let's see here. Remember to hit like and appreciate everybody hanging out with us. Remember, put comments. Put a comment later on after the stream finishes and goes video on demand. That actually helps a lot on the YouTube side, a lot more than it does on the Twitch side. But I appreciate y'all checking things out. Way. All right. So, good stuff. We should do some spend and threat from beyond, and then of course we should do some grind and some deep space rep grinding and things like that, or deep burst space. And do need to do some demining to repair everything. There's got to be some stuff popping over here, so I'm just gonna go over there in advance. What's her name? 5 is here, so let's go ahead and, yeah, we'll do that ship's damage. And we can do a Lorca. I'd rather do Marcus. We'll get back to it. They're doing the 50 rares. I can't get out that far yet. Camo says, does anyone know if all the swarm research is effective against these swarm mods as well? You have to read them carefully and look at them. Some of them may not. Some of them probably are not. Mainly, I think Jayla. Person of Jayla kind of helps with a lot of Swarmata type stuff and the Terror Skin. But I'm not sure that there's a lot of the Swarm stuff that helps. There we go. I think it's considered a hostile, using hostile language as opposed to an Armada. That's usually parsed out quite a bit in the game. If it says hostiles, or swarms themselves, then most likely it is excluded. So, of course, that is if the writing is consistent with the coding, and that is not always the case. That's where testing comes in. Funny to me that this has been about killing Swarmanas to get the skin that can make you kill Swarmanas better. Yes. Yes, indeed. And those are when my current alliance does them every day at reset. They run them for everybody because it auto completes the swarm dailies, unless you have the only thing it doesn't auto complete is if you don't have the right level. So it'll do everything but the top level. Like I couldn't get to where they would do like what, I don't know, 48s, and they do the the 39s or 40s. So I couldn't get to the 48s, so I would run in the 39s, and then I just have to get my top. But now I have the freebooter, so the only reason for me to go is more to try to get Jayla shards and run them for people. Your alliance has never done one stun one. Yeah, they take some coordination because, of course, and the further you get out, of course, they get into deep space. They take some time, but they're kind of they're like a 6-minute timer. So you're doing the 40s, yeah. So it's a 6-minute timer. So you need people to be ready and actually ready to go, and of course you need people to be crewed well, and not sending like their swarm grinding crew and jazz like that. So those become 5 minutes. I thought it was 6. But yeah, it's short. So you can tell I run a lot of them. I ran like 2 or 3 during this event to try to get Jayla shards and help out the people that are working on it. I thought I'd do more once I got the Terror skin. But that hasn't panned out as much. But again, they are super fast, so not the 15-minute one where you have time to send a ship, recrew it, send it back, repair it, you know, things like that. Of course, you got a disco if you want to. See here. Super embarrassing. Still don't have the disco. Something, yeah. Well, again, that, like we talked about the discussion of developmental progression. If you're, and it took me a while because I was behind on the disco. I quit the game when the disco unlock came, and then wasn't on top of it all for a while. Is that becomes something that's more important for you to be working on, and something that you should, you know, you only need disco summoning more as you get higher in the game. So. You have a terrifying refit event, but can't reach it. Mick, again, super chatting. You are super chatting superliciously. Thank you so much for the super chat. Yet again, another £2. You should. Can you not get to Kaiju? For the beginning ones. Plus, you got to make sure you got the rest of your alliance can get there to support you, because, like I said, it's a short timer, so you need people there who are ready, committed to doing it. That's where you can start it. But if you can't get to Kaiju, then don't worry about it. Because they're not the easiest ones, so you do need, and so you need your Franklin A's beefed up. KIJU. Let me hear. I'll show you guys. I know. Sorry, I can get to once I. Over here, right outside the top of Fed space. This is Kaiju, K-I-J-U, and Uyik and Vahak. These are the same. This is where I always went for the 39s. Let me see. Do I have a short? I don't have a ship with a low warp. I'm like, what's the warp range? Find out the warp range by putting a really small ship on here. And clicking requires a warp range of 80. Okay, so which a Franklin A. Oh yeah, if you don't have Franklin A, then you can't. You're not getting there, because you can't get there with a regular Franklin. But Samo on the disco, you want to get your disco summoning, and you want to get its range as far as you can, and you need to get your disco maxed out too, because you're looking at Viraxian. I don't know where that is, but at 35, you should. This is probably where you should be with if you have people who can agree to do that level. Not leave my ship sitting. Hopefully the Terror skin terrifies people, yanking me parts and stuff. I doubt it. But let's see. I always thought get my disco up to get better pulls on the parts and get some of them. Yeah, you want for that refinery though. Becomes a bigger deal. The speed ups that you get become a huge deal later, especially as free to play, because you get like some absurd amount of Is it 100 and is it something like 104 days of speed ups every week from max pulling, or from fully pulling all the disco refineries once you have max disco and all that stuff? I think it changes at maxed. Yeah, and I forget, because it's well known as like a must do kind of thing. You get 24 per day, 4 times per week. There you go. Thank you, Luke. Yeah, so it's quite a bit, and your main speed up path, if on free to play in particular, I mean aside from whatever you get from daily, but it does require to be maxed. And I'm not sure if there's an ops level. I think there might be an ops level and a max level on the ship that's required. I do not recall. Just checking something real quick. Ops 40, thank you. Thank you, Mark. Mark Pat and Tin Man. Tin Man 101. Yeah, so okay, so when you get 40 and you max out your disco, that's where you really get the big payout there. Thought it was, but you know, some of this stuff you forget if you're not talking about it, or you're not having to like be pushing towards it. All that sourcing for the disco parts is real. Yes, that's for sure. It took me plenty of time. I'm sorry, so I shouldn't just max disco now and then go for summoning. You can use summoning further. You're gonna want to do them both, but you know, gotta use the same parts for the ship and for the research. But you know, summoning will make your anomalous phenomenon event a lot easier and better. Mars. There's just tier 7. Yeah, it took me forever. Like I said, I stepped away from the game during the initial discovery arc battle pass, when we got when you earned and paid or unlocked the discovery for free. So I had half of the parts. I actually quit in the middle of the battle pass. I really didn't like the way they ran battle passes in the beginning. I hate it. And they work a lot better now to me. The feel. So, the grind was just, I think, to me, that was like the worst grind time. Anyway, so, they didn't have the overflow. There was no rewards for the overflow. I think in the very beginning, they didn't have any overflow. And you really had to do everything. And it was more of a grindy pain in the rear, than it is now. They've mixed it up. I mean, and now they have things, because it was more about like, you have to grind this hostile and you have to do this. And you know, but they didn't have away teams. So we didn't have days where you were doing an away team. You know, they didn't have as many of the different stuff that might give some options. I just remember it being really, really bad. Really, really frustrating. And I was having a ton of fun with my Marvel Strike Force at that time, which again is a game this Star Trek Fleet Command is a much better game. But it used to be, the grind was a lot worse, in my opinion. And so I actually took a few month break from the game. I think I was really busy at work as well, and I was just like, I don't have time for this. I'm not enjoying the grind. The grind felt so mandatory. Like, you know, and like, you know, some days I wouldn't even want to do the grind, but I was like, you know, again, that's when I used to buy the battle pass in the beginning. I don't ever buy the battle pass in the beginning anymore. I now buy it near the end, as you've seen me do that on streams and stuff, because I want to make sure I'm actually going to complete it. Truth is, I now complete them all pretty darn easily. But I guess it may have had to do with the level that I was at, the way the grind was, and you know, I don't know. I didn't like to spend a lot of repair speed ups. I didn't like to do a lot of stuff like that for a while, so I just remember it being pretty onerous. To the point where took a little time. And there was some other drama in game going on. Made my time less enjoyable as well, but took a little break. Honestly, I used all the stockpile of the 7-day shields that I had, and I would just log on every Sunday and renew the 7-day shield for a while. And I do my G3 refinery because I used to mine a lot for my dailies. So I had a lot of backlog, and there weren't, you know, we didn't get bonus refineries back then, rarely. So I did it. Sometimes you need mini batches. And Mark says 3 weeks for around 9 mini batches. Northern Ireland says hi from Billy Bob. Hello back. How you doing? CockADoodle. Welcome in and thanks for being here. Oh, much appreciated. Chatting it up. Drinking our coffee. My coffee's, I think, yeah, it's pretty empty. And working on a few of these. Ow. How'd I get scrolled in? I didn't mean to. But, and that's, so I hope Billy Bob, I hope you're doing well as well. And then kind of enjoying the Storm Sunday. Got a lot better with freebooters as far as I'm concerned. So a lot easier for the way I used to do it. So, and hi from Germany from Mark as well. We got people weighing in. Yeah, that's one of the lovely things. Thank you. Hello to Germany as well. So it's one of the nice things. We got Vancouver and Canada and all that in here, and other places I imagine as well. Let us know if you want to, you know, in chat after, if you're catching this on demand. Let us know what country you're signing in from when you say hi in the comments. Helps with the algorithm, so it really helps me out a lot too. And hopefully you'll subscribe and like the video at the same time and all that stuff. So, did it. Let's see here. Reminder: we are going to be going over to Twitch in a little bit. Some Twitch Star Trek and side games and all that stuff. So let me make sure you guys know where I am. Gibraltar as well for 10, man. Thank you. Yes. There's a link to the Twitch where you can go over there and give us a follow. Follows over there are free. Subscribes here are the same as follows there. They're both free, and they both mean a lot. Thank you very much. Let's see here. But checking out Franklin A, level 33. It's getting hard to level up. Yours is at level 33. Slow down. Better on its level lock though, so that helps. If you don't opt up too fast. But yeah, and if you're trying to level it, I mean, I just tiered this one up, so I'm need to get more stuff. Mark says you are here because of Admiral Pegasus Discord, not because of YouTube. Oh, wonderful. All right, cool. Shout out to Admiral Pegasus. Thank you for the love on his Discord as well. I'm glad. Thank you for letting me know. I'm always glad to know how people find us. Feel free to still. I hope you give a thumbs up and subscribe over here, or follow on Twitch as well. I know Pegasus is big on his YouTube streams. I do both, but I do Twitch streaming several days a week and on the weekends, and then I do my Sunday stream on YouTube. I've kind of gotten back to it for the last few months. I used to do it pretty faithfully, but we're back to kind of doing it. YouTube never shows you up. Me, really? Yes, Andre's always looking for me. I appreciate it. Yeah, well, I mean, hit the subscribe, hit the bell, hit that bell notification, all that stuff. But I'm only on YouTube. I'm only live. I'm gonna switch pretty soon, actually, in the next 10 minutes or 15 minutes or so. It's kind of getting here to when we get to a little break spot, so I'll be popping over there, Bobby. Some con. I was just trying to figure out where I am in the swarm grind here as well. Yeah, because when we go over there, of course, one of the nice things about the Twitch stuff is I have a bigger catalog of music that I can do. Thank you, like and sub done. Thank you very much, Mark. I very much appreciate it. I have a lot more bells and whistles on the stream, and we play a lot of fun side games and stuff like the Stream Raiders and the Nitro Racing. In your car Thursday. Oh, your real car, not your car in Nitro Racing. Let's see here. But yeah, we'll be going over there to Twitch, but I like hanging out here, and what I like about my weekend streams, which usually start around event reset, is that all of you from different countries and stuff, in different time zones, are really better able to come in and hang out with me. Because I'm in the States and the West Coast, when I stream on the weeknights, it's after work, and I don't get out of work early. So at least currently, maybe that'll change, see. But so I'm already late for the United States, and it's after work, so it's a lot harder. It's a lot harder to hang out. Although I can get the folks from Hawaii and stuff, things like that, and all that. But much harder if you're coming from some of the other countries. So where are we hill wise for Swarm Sunday here? I was like, why won't that ever load? 18 kills. Let's see. Let's push through that, and we'll pop over to Twitch. And we'll do some more grinding and everything. Grinding, we'll mess around. We'll test out Bashir on solo Jem'Hadar Armadas. Do some variant crewing. Just mess around. Got the full coverage. Very nice, Andre. Finished all your events. Yeah, the events aren't too hard, so we're going to do some extra stuff and things like that. And of course, we're going to be playing, Stream Raiders and running the car races and stuff like that. Chilling out, and kind of kicking back and having that kind of more of a party atmosphere. I like streaming here on YouTube, but it definitely, the rules are a little different. So, and I use different software, so I have more bells and whistles on Twitch because I've done that a lot more. But I like kind of getting to meet people over here, because some people don't go over to Twitch, so it's good to kind of like meet people and discover folks here on, on the stream. Much quite leveled, and then meet people, hopefully encourage them to come over to Twitch. As well, so they can find me more. I do the same time I'm on at event reset, or within an hour of event reset on Saturday mornings as well. But it's on Twitch. So we have longer streams on Saturdays and Sundays. Yes, last week on Sunday we did a good hour and a half, 2 hours or something here on YouTube. Then went over and did like 6 hours on Twitch, which. That was pretty long, but we were having a whole lot of fun and just kind of kicking back. So all that kicks off for everybody. Mark says new arc incoming soon. We will see what's going in there. Yeah, on Tuesday we should have that. I'll make my arc video probably Tuesday night, at least by Wednesday night. It all usually depends on how disruptive work is to my life since I get home, and then sometimes I'm hurt, not physically, but I'm just like drained, and may not have the energy to go and record the video and edit and everything. Been trying to get a lot better on that lately. The quote new job has affected me and affected my schedule quite a bit. Trying to get it normalized, and slowly it's working. But it's affected some of my free time and life activities and my content creation stuff as well. Talking about that all in this. Here, 69. So yeah, we were just like 6 kills away from completing, and then we'll shut down, and I'll take a quick break and then pop back on over on Twitch. So exclamation Twitch, get the Twitch link. I know my name is Lay Rooster, one word here on YouTube, which is how I usually do it, but it's Lay_Rooster on Twitch. That's the only difference, and the same as like my Twitter account is Lay_Rooster and all that. I tried to change it to make them all Lay Rooster, but somebody has that on Twitch. Somebody who doesn't stream has it from who knows how many years ago, and so I couldn't move them over. Oh, Mark wanted to know what server I'm on. We're on server 34 with the one that you're seeing here, main. I do have a baby Forever 14 account on server 32. That I need to get my BlueStacks working again so I can get access to that. Mess around with BlueStacks settings. BlueStacks and Windows 11 are like not friendly, so you have to kind of decide how you want things to work. And I don't really use a lot of BlueStacks stuff. I used to have to do that for Marvel Strike Force streaming and content creation, and I don't do that. We do Star Trek primarily, which of course I love the PC app, and then we do God here. We do all the Stream Raider stuff. Why are you not showing full? I'll take some bits now that we can level the ship up again. Yeah, okay, we're gonna send that home. All right, and we're gonna be popping over. Like I said, gonna shut down the stream here, launch the other stream. It's a matter of just a few minutes to shut down and launch some stuff and get on. And we'll take a quick break, so like 3 to 5 minutes, something like that. Then I'll be right back. So look for me in 5 to 10 minutes over there on Twitch. So I hope you will join me as well, so we can have some fun. I've appreciated hanging out with everybody here. Thank you so much for all your participation and communication and just being here with me. Harmonica, shout out to Mick for all the super chat love. Shout out to everyone with the likes and subscribes. Hit that like button when this video goes to video on demand. Your likes will be there. Go ahead and put a comment in. And chime in again on your country of origin where you're checking this out. Same thing if you're catching this now on demand. Do the like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. Be here again on Sunday, and of course look for an ARC video later this week. Anyway, you guys take care. CockADoodle do.